Welcome to Championship Field in League City, Texas, where tonight it's East versus West. The SFL All-Star Game Season 22 style commences. Alongside Charles Doherty, I am Cameron Irvine, and we've got an all-star cast with us tonight on the field. It's the most difficult and challenging game to call because there's so many faces, there's so many numbers, but we are here to see a hopefully great football game. Charles, how are you doing, and what are you most looking forward to this afternoon?
I'm doing great, Cam, and this is going to be a great game. I mean, you can go back and forth on, who should have been on, who's on, all day, but looking at the players on the field, we've got a great matchup, an even matchup, and I think this game is going to go late into the fourth quarter, and that's what you want to see in an all-star game.
There's a look at the coin toss. Our uniforms tonight, West in black, East in gold. We are all decked out and ready to go. And Charles, I hope it goes late into the fourth quarter. A tight one. We had one last season, 28-21, but that ball's on the tee. Hands in the air, kick it. We are underway. And our last look at season 22 as that kneel down taken in the end zone. And by Greg Corky, and the West will start with it on the 20-yard line. Marcus Dunhill and Michael Brown are your quarterbacks. Dunhill wears 15 and Brown wears 7. Michael Brown gets us started. First play of the All-Star Games, a handoff to Denver's Bailey O'Shaughnessy, Charles, who made a lot of headlines in the offseason with his fat contract, getting ready to boost Denver in season 23.
Yeah, I mean, he's a baller, but he's the shortest player on the field, and, he got a good block, good gap, and free safety brought him down.
Wow, Dunhill's first pass is caught. Benji Matson gets a first down after Dunhill got absolutely crushed. What a play.
What a play. Benji Matson, he's got the best hands, one of the best hands of tight ends in the league. He's one of those safety valves when you got to get rid of the ball, and we saw in that one, it wasn't the prettiest pass. He's going to be there, he's going to bring it in, and he's going to make a positive game.
Your technical starting lineups are at the bottom of your screen, but we're going to see a lot of different players active and engaged in today's ball game. We'll get to the coaches here momentarily, but Dunhill completes the first pass of the game. Michael Brown's first pass off his back foot. That is caught by Paulie Truth. The two tight ends are active early for the West.
What was that? I mean, here's the thing, Cam. I mean, when I went through this, preparing for this and looking at the rosters, I mean, the sky's the limit. You can pretty much run any play. You're skilled at every position. I can't wait to see what playbooks they're running. And, I mean, come on.
O'Shaughnessy, first down to the 41-yard line. He's wrapped up by Chris Henry of Atlanta. The West is coached by Jay Ballmer. The East is coached by Johnny Reno. A couple of up-and-coming coaches in the SFL, Charles. They get to show their stuff off today.
Definitely. And they have to do something against that rush.
Michael Brown fires it out. That's Paulie Truth's second catch. He breaks a tackle, gets down the sideline over to the East 40-yard line. Pushed down finally. We'll get another look at it on the replay, but it took a minute before Sam Blotner brought him down.
When Paulie Truth gets the ball, he's like a locomotive on a track, man. You can't stop him. He's just going to barrel through you, and on that play is just a pure example of what he can do and what kind of physicality he brings to the game.
The tight ends have all three receptions for the West on this opening drive, and both Michael Brown and Marcus Dunhill off to a good start. Brown back in there now with Matson over to the right. Brown's pass is deflected, and that was the sensational rookie Deterion Darshington coming in to make the deflection, a member of Queen City, but now in Charleston for season 23.
I mean, and he's the guy I would say I'm rooting for the most. I mean, he's a rookie. He doesn't have all the high numbers that all these other guys do, but he's just balling. Every time he gets a play on the field, he makes something happen.
The West sends TJ Punk wearing a new number 87 today in motion. Hackers got the 88. Second down and 10. Dunhill will hand it off. Bailey O'Shaughnessy with another carry here on the opening drive. Josh Slapp is the other back in the backfield for the West. Rodney Panani with the tackle to set up a 3rd and 9.
Curious to see what they do here on 3rd down. I mean, they're going up against, they're all-stars, obviously, but, man, that secondary for the East is just phenomenal.
Michael Brown, back to pass, going to take off and run. Brown near a 1st down, and they mark him just shy, a 4th and inches. This is possibly field goal range for a chance to win. We'll have to see. And, well, first we're going to get a challenge from the coaching staff of the West, looking for a different ball spot.
Yeah, so let's see what happens, Cam. Chance's longest field goal this season is 53. Where's the ball? Do you remember where they placed it?
I think it'd be about a 48-yard field goal.
Oh, yeah, well within his range.
The question is where he starts his slide. This is a retroactive look at it. I think he's short.
Yeah, just like a toenail.
And it does stand, so an early timeout lost by the West. So we'll see if they go for it or send on Chance to win. The 6th-season veteran playing in his 2nd All-Star game, his 1st since season 20, and his 1st in the 4K23 era, and they will send on to win for the 48-yard field goal attempt.
He's got the strongest foot in the league, so let's see it go.
To win, swings from right to left, right down the middle. 9-play, 48-yard opening drive for the West results in a 3-0 lead. And look, Arizona fans are in the stands supporting the West as well.
I want to see Eddie's face on some of those tummies. Eddie's likeness.
I wonder if he gets NIL if his fans paint his face.
But, Cam, on that last series, what we saw was the offensive line of the West, I think, able to open up some holes for the running game and good protection for the quarterback as well. And then
Henry McGee fumbled the football. It's recovered by the West, and it's a touchdown. That's Kenny Hendricks recovering the fumble, playing special teams and getting a totally different type of special teams return.
Holy, that's why he's on special teams. We talked about the special teams members on the All-Star roster, and Hendricks jumped out at us because he does not only good returns, but he also does heads-up plays when he's out there trying to stop the runner.
Kenny Hendricks in his 1st All-Star game and just his 2nd SFL season with the game's 1st touchdown, and the West has jumped out to a 10-0 lead. And to win is right back out there for the extra point, which is good. And wow, the East has to settle down. It's not often that the first time your offense hits the field, you're already down 2 possessions.
West is definitely flexing so far.
So Henry McGee, the rookie, played in Atlanta in his rookie season but signed with Fort Worth in the offseason, is back to try it again. And McGee will get it out to the 28-yard line this time. And the quarterbacks for the East, Florida's Ron Cochran in his 6th All-Star game in 14 seasons, and Johnny Reno in his 1st All-Star game in his 5 SFL seasons.
Yeah, so I'm thinking, Cam, the folks, and I may have missed this in our pregame prep, but a lot of the players that we're seeing on special teams are also starters as well.
Yeah.
So it's going to be hard, I think, to get a good return in this game.
Yeah, I agree. It's probably the elitist special teams units in SFL history out there here tonight. The East starts off with a BDG Hollywood run, who picks up 3 yards. The East in gold, the West in black, as that'll set up a 2nd down and 7.
I'm looking to see how effective the East is against running against this West defensive line. I mean, they are big maulers there. Let's see if they can get some yardage.
2 backs in the backfield on 2nd down and 7. Cochran pitches it out to Logan Lee, and Logan Lee is quickly put down by David Ware, wearing a different number today, 53, in his 1st SFL All-Star game.
I mean, this season, #1 in tackles for linebackers, #1 in TFLs for linebackers. You can't ask for anything more for David Ware. I think that's why he's on the field tonight.
3rd down and 6. Johnny Reno will throw the first pass for the East, and it's just a little bit out beyond the outstretched arms of teammate. I should say the Minnesota Reno teammate Jay Taylor, also in his first All-Star game, but it'll be 4th and 6.
They ran that middle blast, Cam, and I think it affected the quarterback. Had to get rid of that ball.
Not the start the East was looking for. Their punter is Liam Price in his first All-Star game, 2nd SFL season in the books. From the 23-yard line, not much room to return there, and a shout out to Derek Meerkat, who makes the tackle on special teams in his first All-Star game.
Derek Meerkat. Maybe tonight, Cam, you'll do another Meerkat sound.
Oh wait, it's not a cat, right? I made that mistake the first time.
Why did I take a drink of water?
First down on the 24 for the West. A 10-0 lead off the Kenny Hendricks fumble return for a touchdown. Bailey O'Shaughnessy gets 5 yards, and that will half what they need for the move of the sticks. Blotner another tackle.
And Cam, that's a stylish 5 yards. I mean, he juked and jived all the way down the field. It just shows you at 5'10", 203. That's why he gets so many yards. He's just so athletic and able to do what he does after he gets the ball.
Josh Slapp, first carry. He's brought down first by Daniel Wright. And Henry McGee's in the chat. Charles saying, sorry, East. I wonder if there's just a smidge of point shaving going on there. McGee went from Atlanta to Fort Worth. Maybe he's
okay.
Maybe he thinks he's playing for the West now. 3rd and 5. Dunhill going to throw. Dunhill drops back, fires over the middle. That's caught. TJ Punk, first down for the West. Punk in his 2nd All-Star game, first since season 17.
Dunhill, the 10-season veteran. I mean, you can send a blitzer in there. The pocket may break down. One thing I love about him, he just stays calm. He does his progressions, and he delivers the strike.
1st and 10. 4:46 to go in the first. Handoff goes to O'Shaughnessy, and O'Shaughnessy will get 3 yards on the pickup. But the West keeping it on the ground with, and then through the air with some short passes so far.
I mean, I think that's a great way to start out the game. Set the tone, let the offensive linemen and the tight ends, maybe put a couple bruises on the defense.
The MVP's in the chat. Gabriel Manning, can I get a touch? 2nd down and 7. Michael Brown, his former quarterback, fires it down the field. It's overshot, and that was Manning, the intended target. 3rd and 7.
Yeah, but, be careful what you wish for, Cam, right?
Yeah, that one just a little bit outside. Hacker and Punk out there for 3rd and 7, along with 2 in the backfield as the East try to get off the field, force a punt for the first time. Dunhill deep, drop back, fires down the middle of the field. That pass is incomplete. Dunhill gets a pat on the back from a rookie on this roster, Sarah Bergens, out of Houston. 4th down.
I know that Marcus is just kicking himself over that, because that was could have been a little better delivery on that one, and we would have been looking at a whole different situation.
The punter for the West is Seattle rookie David Roush. And on the return for the East up to the 19-yard line, that's Mike Twinscrew with the return out of Louisiana. And Charles, when you were analyzing these rosters in preparation for this game, it was uncanny just how even these teams were.
A 3. When we're looking at the in-game ratings or the analytics for East offense, West offense, and East defense, it was exactly the same to like the 8th decimal. The West was a little bit better than all 3 on defense, but it's just uncanny, the odds of that happening.
Hollywood gets the carry and gets lifted up by fullback Chris Comisac out of Florida, who's also on this roster. 2nd and 8. That's Cochran under center now. Has yet to throw a pass in this first quarter as the East try to get something moving offensively. Hand off, BDG over on the right side. BDG Hollywood's got a first down to the 33-yard line. And the East move the sticks.
Yeah, and it started up front. I mean, great blocking by that offensive line, but EDG Hollywood, the 15-season veteran, Hall of Famer, I mean, God, he's dangerous. They got to have a man, cover him because he can actually take a little and make a lot out of it. Get stopped at the line, he can add an additional, 10 yards after carry.
Joseph Wade, his 4th All-Star game in 5 seasons on that kick-out block, and Logan Lee gets another carry off the right side, picks up a yard, was wrapped up first by Robert Thump, wearing 97 today. Also Nate Heslip in on the stop, now a 3-time All-Star out of Tulsa.
2nd and 9 here. Let's see if they keep running or they try and test the secondary.
2nd and 9, Cochran will throw. Ron Cochran throwing to nobody. Miscommunication there with Logan Lee, and sometimes that can happen, Charles. A lot of these players have never played together, and limited practicing up to this game. They were not on the same page there.
Well, he definitely heard footsteps on the weak side. That defensive line, I mean, they're the heaviest out of any unit for the West or East. And then when they run, they make a noise.
A dime look here for the West. 3rd down and 9 as the East try to remain on the field. That's Kay Marion going in motion, her 3rd All-Star appearance. Reno back to pass. Reno fires down the field. Incomplete. Almost hauled in off the deflection. That was intended for Indianapolis's Ryan Roosevelt, but the West defense stands tall again. The East will have to punt.
Another middle blitz, and that middle blitz, although they didn't touch the quarterback, it was enough to disrupt the flow of the play, Cam.
As if in the chat. Who made the playbooks? Jay Ballmer's your coach for the West. Johnny Reno's your coach for the East. Coach for the East. 2 up-and-comers, and another Derek Meerkat special teams tackle for the East almost immediately on Jacob Morrison, who gets the punt return duties today. 1st down for the West on the 22.
And put yourself in the shoes of the punt returner or the kick returner here. You're going up against all-stars on the other side.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
brutal.
you got to have ice in your veins.
2 backs, or 2 receivers, 1 back. Pauly Truth goes in motion, has a couple of catches here in the opening quarter. Down to 6 on the play clock. West has the football again, back up 10. Handoff to Bailey O'Shaughnessy, and he is quickly brought down from behind by Canton's Kevin Brackett after a gain of 3.
I mean, it's only 3, but so far for most of his runs, it's been positive gain, and especially on 1st down, that's what you need.
2:16 to go in the 1st quarter. 7 in the box for the East. They come at him, and Josh Slapp getting away. Breaking a tackle. Slapp near the 1st down. Did get it. Evan Carroll out of Florida eventually brought him down, but Slapp's got his best run of the day for a 1st down.
Best run of the day, and that right there is a momentum builder. Slapp, number 2 for running backs and rushing. I mean, he showed it on that play, was able to take a little and make a lot out of it.
Handoff, O'Shaughnessy, Bailey O'Shaughnessy, 1st down to the 43-yard line. Probably the most impressive thing about this 1st quarter is the West run game is loose.
Yes. It's starting with the offensive line, I'm telling you. They're making holes, but man, 5'10", Bailey O'Shaughnessy has 2 defenders on his back, and 203 able to just take it to the 1st down marker.
In Denver this upcoming season, probably the most talented roster around O'Shaughnessy that they've had in quite some time. They're going to be an interesting play in the West. Another run. Josh Slapp will pick up a couple before being brought down by Darshington, who already has a pass deflection in this game. 2nd and 8.
I mean, so far the offense of the West has been dictating the terms on the field. The East needs to do something, needs to find a way to disrupt the flow of this West offense.
Michael Brown back in at quarterback. Will fire it short quickly. That pass caught by Manning. Manning gets away and gets to the 43-yard line of the East. The MVP's got his 1st catch and a 1st down. Tackle made by Chris Henry.
And that was an MVP route and body positioning there. Look at that. Just turned at the right time, got in front of the defender so the quarterback could put the ball on the numbers and get that 1st down.
More outstanding offense from the West early, but neither offense technically has a touchdown yet. It was the kick return fumble recovery from Kenny Hendricks that got the West their 10-0 lead. Michael Brown deep down the field. That pass is incomplete. In blanket coverage, Evan Carroll on Manning will set up second down.
Now, Cam, I think we're going to see some really effective deep passes, but if I was a coach on this one, I'd give it to the receiver short and let them do their magic. I mean, that's why they're here, yard after catch.
So far, Manning's got that yak on lock, 2nd and 10. Handoff, O'Shaughnessy spins away. Baby O'Shaughnessy gets 6 yards. Man, this is impressive what he's been able to put together so far.
It is. I mean, I think he spun before the snap. I don't know why they didn't throw a flag. No, I'm just kidding. But he's opening some eyes tonight. I mean, everybody knows O'Shaughnessy's great, but man, he's showing it on the field.
3rd and 4, just outside field goal range. Michael Brown back to pass. Michael Brown in trouble, goes down. Sacked by Big Sexy. The 5-time All-Star out of Florida, Alex Dominguez, knocks him out of field goal range.
Hall of Famer and 15 seasons. I mean, there are a couple other players on the field with 15, like 2 others, but he's the cagey veteran. He shows the defensive line what to do, and man, on that play, he just dictated the terms.
End of the first, it's the West 10, the East nothing, but the East defense stands tall. They'll get the ball back to start the second quarter. Thanks to everyone who is watching today's All-Star game with us. Hopefully more trickle in as we have a competitive football game. The East trying to get something going offensively or a little bit more, as Twin Screw with the fair catch at the 19-yard line will give the East less than ideal field goal range, but a high kick from David Roush forced the fair catch.
If I were the East, I would put the ball in the hands of Hollywood and Lee and just see what can happen.
Comisac also in there at fullback right now. 3 receivers to the right, but now going to the left. That's Christian Bachagalupi getting some time in at receiver as well. Handoff. Hollywood got a nice block from Comisac and company. 5-yard gain will set up 2nd and 5.
Yeah, I mean, the offensive line just blew it up at the snap. And, I mean, there are a lot of options there for the running back, and, man, he capitalized.
Canton's Kiara Kilganon, Jacques Lepankek, and Max Van Linga among this talented East line. That is a talented tight end, Lauren Percoco, out of D.C. with her first catch on her first target. She is magnificent.
Magnificent. I mean, that sums it up. Great run blocker, great catch. Receiving yards, she leads. Reception, she leads. 19-yard average. Touchdowns for tight ends, she leads. I mean, that's perfect. You can't ask anything else from your tight end.
If you're looking for yourself out there on the West defense right now, Robert Thump is 97, Anthony Stover wearing 99, Tazzy Blackwell's number 43, David Ware's number 53 today. That pass is caught by Ivory Irvin down the field with 1 man to beat. That's an East touchdown. Ivory Irvin on the receiving end of a bomb gets behind the West defense, and we've got a 1-score game again.
That was great field presence by the quarterback. Had a little bit of it looks like they were doing a twist on the stunt, able to throw it to Irvin just over the arms of the number 21, Nate Haslip, trying to go in for the interception, and made him pay for it.
And that was Johnny Reno with the touchdown pass, and our first offensive touchdown of the game today. Ivory Irvin, no stranger to the All-Star game. The East's most tenured vet in terms of All-Star game appearances. This is his 7th. Only Ryan Davidson equals that amount for the East defense, but an incredible catch and run from Ivory Irvin gives us a 10-7 ball game. On the return, this is Hendricks, who already has 1 touchdown to his name today. He's wrapped up by Frank Bernstein. I mean,
you take the ball to the 30-yard line, Cam, against this special team of All-Stars. That's a tip of the cap, sir.
And he had a guy coming right at him, and that was Henry McGee, who was playing special teams as well, and he still was able to shed that. Of course, Henry McGee was the fastest player down the field, right, Charles? I mean, he's got all the speed. First down at the 30 for the West, trying to bounce back. Michael Brown back in at quarterback. Bailey O'Shaughnessy takes the handoff, and O'Shaughnessy's going to get another 5 yards. It seems like he gets 5 yards every time he touches the ball.
Yeah, I love it, Cam. You know, the West got a punch in the face, put 7 up, on the board. They're still sticking to what's made them successful so far.
Second down and 5. Handoff to Josh Slapp, and Slapp picks up only a yard. That is Rodney Panani with the tackle. And I want to talk about Michael Brown for a second, Charles, because he was the starter in Tulsa. He kind of had all you could want out of a job, and now he's one of 2 quarterbacks in Pittsburgh for the upstart Riverhogs. As Lexington moves on, Kenny Slider will be their starter in the new era for that Desperados franchise. Now in Lexington, Marcus Dunhill will drop the throw. Clean pocket, now scrambling out, pressure coming, and that pass is caught. Stephen Hacker with his first grab from his teammate Dunhill. First down for the West.
I mean, again, I've given Dunhill props for being the KG veteran. I know he heard Dominguez closing in on him. He just stood his ground and threw the ball. I would have ran to the sidelines and just called for mommy on that one if I heard Dominguez coming at me.
Dominguez and Max Knight, too. I mean, that's the most fearsome pair of defensive tackles I think you could ever have in the SFL right now. As Michael Brown drops to throw, that pass is incomplete. He was looking for Manning. Can't haul that in. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Lots of hitting going on out there, Cam. I think he got hit by 2 defenders on that play.
This ain't your 2024 typical touch football all-star game. These players, this means something to them. They're out here hitting. Handoff, O'Shaughnessy again, 5 yards, right up the gut. Will set up a more manageable 3rd down as the East looks for yet another stop against the West offense in East territory.
Yep, they've got the whole route tree available there for the quarterback, and let's see what they do here.
Slapp is the back in the backfield. Dunhill looking, caught by Manning, but he is stopped short. That's Evan Carroll on the stop, and I think the East is going to force another punt.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think he had the dump off at the top of the screen, the halfback coming out, and I might have wound up the same, but I think maybe had a couple steps on him, so maybe different results.
Punt is away, and once again pinned at about the 18-yard line as Twin Screw, wearing 18 today, makes that grab. The last 2 All-Star games have been terrific. The East won by a point 2 seasons ago, 20-19. Last season, our first All-Star game, the 4K23 era, the West got the win 28-21. Got another good one shaping up here, 10-7. West on top of the East. We'll start with Cochran under center, hand off to BDG Hollywood. Hollywood picks up 5, wrapped up by Stephon Forge out of Denver.
Yep, I'm really impressed with both of these offensive lines. I mean, they're definitely making great holes for the running back and making positive gains.
100% agree there. 2nd and 5. Logan Lee, not as much space. He is clocked by David Ware. 3rd and 4.
David Ware again. I mean, he's been making his presence known on the field, and man, on that play, he just shut it down. Looks like he knew where the ball was going before the snap.
7 in the box on this 3rd and medium. Cochran will pass. Ron Cochran down the field, picked off by David Ware. 20 down to the 16-yard line. What a first half for David Ware in his first All-Star game.
He's got, he has incredible field presence there. He just took a couple steps back and just waited to see what the quarterback would do. I don't think the quarterback saw him at all.
The first interception of the All-Star game, and Ron Cochran was the man that ended up bringing him down. So the West taking advantage now of 2 East turnovers in the first half with the ball in the red zone at the 16. 305 Dade County's in the chat. Handoff O'Shaughnessy. O'Shaughnessy picks up 5. James Klein asks Charles, do you have the robe and martinis?
I've told James this several times. The robe is in the SFL Hall of Fame.
We need a physical location. We can put a wax
Likeness of me?
Likeness of, I was going to say R62. We could put you in there. Sure, that's a little creepy with the robe and all.
You're gonna put the robe on a referee?
No, the robe would stand on its own. O'Shaughnessy, first down to the 5-yard line. A pickup of 6. First and goal.
Hey, he's been balling. Every play, it seems like he gets 5 yards. Maybe there was one play tonight so far that he got a loss or maybe was stood up at the line. Man, he is holding his own out there.
Emilio Panda in doing some great blocking. And Sarah Bergens, Connie Cook, couple of undrafted free agents out of Houston make the All-Star game on this line. As Josh Slapp out of Houston gets a touchdown. The Headhunters and the West go back up by 10.
What's so impressive, Cam, is they stuck to their playbook. They ran. They know they were been successful on the run. They stayed with it, and it's just paid dividends. But I have to say, on that offensive line, you said some great names there, but also my son-in-law at center, Brunto Grayjam.
Now, we have that listed in our pronunciation sheet as Graham, but is it Grayjam?
It just depends. It's all based on the moon, where the moon is in the cycle. Today, it's Grayjam.
How are we supposed to keep up with that? 17-7. Extra point is good for a chance to win. And the West has 14 points off turnovers in the first half, Charles, the difference in this game.
That is a coach's dream when you have a defense calls in turnovers and helping put points on the board.
A deep kick is unreturnable for Bacigalupi. And the East will start with it on the 20-yard line. Cochran's got to shake off that interception. Reno's got the touchdown so far, has outplayed the KG veteran.
I'm looking to see on this series if the West dials it up a bit and sends a couple extra blitzers in.
Cochran will start back under center for the East. On the 20, 1st and 10. The handoff to BDG Hollywood gets around the left side and nearly broke it out for more. Adam Leach out of Fort Worth makes the stop after 6.
You got to lean on guys like Hollywood and Lee. Those two are their money when they get the ball, so there's nothing wrong with handing it off to them. You can see on that 6-yard gain.
2nd and 4. Sending pressure. Logan Lee got caught up behind Comisac and couldn't get away. Only a pickup of a yard. Monte Wyatt with the tackle in his first All-Star game in 7 seasons.
That's closing speed at its best. I know this is the All-Star game, but holy smokes, that shut down quickly.
3rd and 3. Will they keep it on the ground? They've not thrown a pass since the interception. Comisac goes in motion. Cochran back to pass. Cochran fires deep to the field. Caught! Wide open. That is James Matthew Jr. down to the 20-yard line, the second time that an East receiver has gotten behind the West defense. First down.
He did a little twist on the line trying to throw the offensive line off, but they held their ground, gave the quarterback enough time to get a perfect strike off to James Matthew Jr. Adam Leach was able, I think that was Adam Leach, able to do that touchdown-saving tackle.
I don't think David Ware was going to catch Matthew Jr., so huge props to Adam Leach for bringing him down now in his 5th All-Star game in just 7 seasons. A tremendous accomplishment. Cochran will roll to his left, and the lefty fires it, but it was deflected by Tony Roberto, making a great play in his first All-Star game.
I mean, they did the rollout there, but Bobo Cardell on the edge was beating down on the pass block protection. I think the quarterback, it impacted the quarterback on the throw.
So 2nd down and 10 now. Marion goes in motion. Cochran to throw. He'll dump it off. Dangerous play to Logan Lee. Boy, the West, I think, read the scouting report. They're not giving Logan Lee an inch today. Roberto with another stop.
Oh, that is incredible. Roberto's just a beast. He can rush the passer. Great on coverage. Great on tackles. Come on now. That's like the perfect outside linebacker.
3rd and 11. Johnny Reno fires. Caught inside the 10 to his teammate Jay Taylor. 1st and goal. The drive stays alive.
That's impressive. I mean, holy smokes. In the midst of all that pressure, Johnny Reno is able to stay in there and deliver a strike to Jay Taylor.
Tackle by Heslip. Will they get another playoff before the 2-minute warning? Kilgunnen's trying to rush everybody up to the line. They cannot get there. 2 minutes to go. The East is knocking on the door. What a first half we've seen.
What a first half.
Here at Championship Field in League City, Texas.
I need a tall glass of water after that first half.
First and goal at the 7. Cochran hands it off to BDG. Hollywood gets skinny down to the 4. Swole asking in the chat, what's the series history? The East leads 6-2. The West won the first game in the 4K23 era last season. 1:40 left. After the Hollywood 4-yard run, they'll toss it to Lee, and Lee gets blasted by Roberto, a loss of 2.
That was just angry. I mean, I think he broke a couple laws in at least 20 states on that one.
Oh, Nebraska's just got too many laws. It's ridiculous. 3rd and goal. Cochran to throw. Cochran, corner of the end zone, incomplete. Heslip in coverage, looking for Irvin, which would have been his 2nd touchdown in the West. Gets a stop, keeps both timeouts in their pocket.
I think we saw the first time the West defense sent a pinch stunt on that offensive line. I don't think they were expecting it. We're off balance, and it definitely impacted the outcome of that play. We almost had an interception in the end zone.
So one of the best kickers in SFL history, Pawty, surprisingly playing in his first All-Star game. He was perfect on field goals this season, and that one is good. A 10-play, 75-yard drive for the East gets this game back within one score, 17-10. Now the West has 71 seconds to counter and 2 timeouts on the board.
So far, Cam, they haven't shown any air raid offense here. It's been a lot of the ground and pound. So let's see if they change it up here. Try and put some points on the board before the end of the half.
Hendricks up to the 27-yard line. And get a look quickly at Hendricks' couple of returns. He's got the touchdown, but it actually came on defense, which is the ironic thing.
He's the special teams MVP so far.
Yeah, absolutely. So looking at the receivers, Matson and Truth got off to a hot start, but they have cooled down. Hacker and Punk also have a catch. Manning's got a catch, looking for Terrazas and Calia potentially as this game goes along as well. They'll start with a run. Look at O'Shaughnessy, gets 8 yards, and that bodes well for the West. I think if they get another first down here, Charles, they'll burn the timeout and get aggressive.
I mean, they're in the 2-minute drill, and they run 8 yards. They're trying to figure out whether or not they want to push it or they want to just go to the locker room.
This play will be a big test of that here. Toss, Josh Slapp. Slapp's got the first down. And they're going to keep the timeouts in their pocket here. Kind of surprising.
I mean, I think we're going to see a lot of the same in the second half. I mean, why fix what's not broken?
Michael Brown, still 18 seconds left here. Manny's going to go in motion. And Brown's going to try to cut it upfield. That pass caught by Truth, and I think they'll take a timeout for the Hail Mary here. So Paulie Truth gets his third catch of the half, and now they'll give an opportunity for one of these quarterbacks to grip it and rip it before we hit the break.
That's the amazing thing about this game, Cam. I get into this lull where I think I understand the flow of the game, and they completely turn it upside down.
Yeah, that'll do that to you. Well, Dunhill's in the game. They actually may hand it off to a back here.
All right.
Pitch it. O'Shaughnessy not going to get down in time. Blotner,
a lot of effort for a timeout, sir.
Yeah, Blotner ends the half, and well, that's how it goes sometimes. The East may have gotten away with getting or not allowing it any more points on the board. But they'll take it. 17-10. The West leads the East at the half. And we'll get to see some of the top players of the first half, of course, in an all-star game. It's hard to stand out, but guys like Bailey O'Shaughnessy and Kenny Hendricks have done that in the first half.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And then there's also been on the defense some, I mean, not necessarily individual. I mean, you could say Tony Roberto, a couple of the big plays he made. But from a unit standpoint, the line of the West has been incredible. And then we've also seen some outstanding plays by the East secondary.
I mean, O'Shaughnessy, 14 carries, nearly 70 yards in the first half. The time of possession has been a bit lopsided. Ivory Irvin gets your player of the half, the 60-yard touchdown reception on his only catch. You know, here's a trivia question for y'all in the chat. Who was the receiver in All-Star Game history who won MVP with just one catch for a touchdown? Won MVP of the game with just one catch for a touchdown. Let us know in the chat if you can remember that piece of SFL history. Could Irvin do that for the East if they hold on to it? Charles, if you know, I'll ask you. Once we give the chat a chance to answer. This is Henry McGee breaking away, getting out to the 23-yard line. So the East gets the ball first to start the half, and that's exciting for them. They could go down, tie this game.
Yeah, I mean, we're not looking at a huge deficit here. They've been okay. They've had that one pass that resulted in the touchdown. So I think they made the right adjustments. Let's see what we see on the field.
First and 10 at the 23-yard line. West 17, East 10, Season 22 All-Star Game. As the handoff goes to Logan Lee to start the half and picks up 4. This is our last look at Season 22, Charles, before we get to Season 23, which is just in, three weeks, wow. 19 days to the SFL convention when we'll see a trio of games on Friday night to kick off Season 23. It's going to be terrific as Hollywood is dropped for a loss.
I can't wait to go down there. I'm bringing my crew. It's going to be a fun time.
As if with the guess Mike Osai. That's a pretty good guess. It's incorrect, but pretty good guess. Johnny Reno on third down. He tried to squeeze it in there. Could not find Jay Taylor, and that was Max Jackson, the 11-time All-Star who nearly got the pick at the end of it, and that is not what the East wanted out of the start of the half.
Yeah, I mean, anytime Max Jackson's around a receiver, he's going to disrupt it, and I think Jay Taylor kind of felt his presence and wasn't able to bring in that one-hander.
Justin Reside guessing Boo Chisholm. That is incorrect, but another good guess as well. Charles, you got a guess on this? An SFL All-Star who won the game, who won MVP with just one catch for a touchdown.
I'm going to say Mason Kirby.
Oh, that's a good guess, too, because he would be that kind of guy. Harish Prasad.
I don't know him. I've never heard of him. Is he in the league?
I think so.
Oh, wow.
He's a running back now. How crazy is that?
Oh, that's probably okay. All right.
9:02
I've heard of his brother.
9:02 to go in the third, and now that Justin Reside guesses Boo Chisholm, he's kind of making me paranoid. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was Boo Chisholm. O'Shaughnessy picks up 3 on the play. Wrapped up there by, I think that was Blotner again. Dunhill back under center. Matson's off to the right side, has 1 catch so far. Handoff to Josh Slapp, who's got a touchdown. He picks up 3 more yards before Kevin Brackett gets another tackle to his name.
The West on offense has not shown a lot of aggressive formations out there. I mean, they did like 21, 22 formations, and it's paying off so far.
Dunhill gives it to O'Shaughnessy, who drags Brackett across the line for a first down. O'Shaughnessy's brilliant all-star game continues.
Yeah, every time he gets the ball tonight, he's making a positive gain, and it's just, I mean, everybody knows he's an all-star player, but he's just proving it on the field.
1st and 10 for the West as they keep it moving. Pass caught.
Wow.
That is Hacker. Near a first down. They actually say he's short. We might get a challenge on that.
I tell you what, Cam, that rollout by Michael Brown, he got rid of it at just the last millisecond before he was going to get lit up. The heat was on, and he had great presence on the field.
2nd and 1. This is Matson going in motion. Hand off to O'Shaughnessy, another first down.
I mean, he just slipped through that line like a wet bar of soap. I mean, I thought he was going to get brought down in the backfield, just did that little shift of the hips and was able to get the defender to miss and get that first down.
2 receivers both at the top of the screen. This is where the East defense has bowed up and played their best football today. Handoff, Josh Slapp getting into the open field, another 5 yards. The West rushing offense, the biggest surprise of the day.
Yeah, I mean, that you got to say Slapp and O'Shaughnessy and Mills, but and forget that offensive line, Cam. I mean, they are they're holding their own.
And off. Not much there for Bailey this time. Rodney Panani with another tackle. He's had a nice day for the East. 3rd and 5. This is on the fringe of field goal range.
Yeah, on the fringe. So the question is, Cam, do they try and push it deep, or they do something safe and just try to get the first down?
Deep drop back, trying to set up something. That pass is incomplete. Tried to air it out to Vin Calya, his first target of the day, but can't come up with it. This is a challenging field goal here from 49 yards out for chance to win. He, from the same hash mark, the same side of the field, hooked right to left good in the first half.
He's got the foot.
From 49 to win again. Nailed it. Kick is good, and the West takes a 20-10 lead.
Yeah, on that last play, Cam, great coverage by the East. I mean, there wasn't any way that Collier could have brought that in.
So the East, who got had a 3 and out to start the second half, will try to dig deep into the playbook as Henry McGee returns this out to about the 26-yard line. Was wrapped up there by Greg Corky at the end of it at the 26.
The East is still in this game, Cam, and they've shown a effectiveness of running the ball, but that outside of that one pass to Irvin, haven't seen a lot of deep throws and medium throws that were effective.
Well, don't forget they had that Matthew Jr. deep catch as well.
That's true. Yeah,
But those two catches have basically resulted in their 10 points, and this hasn't done too much for him as Hollywood picks up 2. Forge on the stop.
Thank you for keeping me honest, sir.
Well, it's mostly so that the chat doesn't lose its mind. Remember that other play?
Yeah, I was just saying that to see if they're paying attention.
Cochran back to pass. Fires down the field. That pass is hauled in. A beauty from K. Marion for the first down. Marion leaving Atlanta, going to Albuquerque this offseason.
Yeah, and on that play, a good route. Just got in between the zone behind the linebackers, and a great pass by the quarterback. Yeah, the defensive line, tried to be a little cute, doing a twist at the, stunt. Didn't work out. Took a lot of time to develop, and the East made him pay for it.
Eventually tag team there by Ware. Tazzy Blackwell, the other inside linebacker for the squad, now in. BDG Hollywood takes the carry. He gets 8 on that run to set up a 2nd and short. LePuncake helps him up.
I just was waiting for you to say that. I know that's the player that you love saying his name on the air.
I just love when players give a pronunciation of a very difficult name so that we can get it right. Bailey O with the eyes in the chat, having himself a heck of an all-star game.
Indeed.
2nd down and 2. Still no touchdowns, though, for O'Shaughnessy, but he's getting all the yards. Logan Lee on a pitch. Logan Lee gets away. Lee dragging defenders all the way to the West 36-yard line. That's Monte Wyatt on the stop, but the best run of the day for Canton's Lee.
Yeah, definitely the best run. I mean, great lead block as well by Joseph Wade on the edge there. Holy smokes, that's what you need. If you got a guard pulling like that and able to shut it down on your edge, and you're going to get a good run.
David Ware's in the chat. Ware, if you missed your INT, go back and take a look at that from the first half. It was a beauty. 4:13 to go in the third quarter. East on the move. Handoff Hollywood, and Hollywood makes something out of nothing. A 3-yard pickup. Stephon Forge is getting hot for the West defense. Makes another stop.
I mean, Dan Tritz had his arms around Hollywood at the line. Wasn't able to hold on, but I think slowed him down enough so we weren't looking at a 5-yard, 6-yard gain.
2nd down, handoff Lee. Lee with a head full of steam has a first down to the 26-yard line.
He got lit up, about 3 yards short of the first down. Was able to bounce out of that, and Roberto hit him, I think, and then he was able to do that spin and get those extra yards. I mean, that right there, that's an all-star run.
Johnny Reno back in, who had the touchdown completion to Ivory Irvin for 60 yards. That's the East's only TD today. Lauren Percoco, who's got a grab, goes in motion, is now spread wide outside. Split backs in the backfield. Handoff goes to Hollywood. Hollywood dragging Roberto will get 3 to about the 22-yard line.
Roberto's everywhere tonight. Everywhere. I mean, it's like he almost knows where the ball's going to be before the snap, and he's waiting for it.
A lot of Tulsa Desperados on this West roster, and they're proving tonight why. I mean, they've all had a pretty great game so far. 2nd down and 7. Hand off to Lee as the East keeping it on the ground for the majority of this drive. Gets 2, 3rd and 5. Coming up, big 3rd down.
Yeah, on that play, Thump just shut it down. The running back ran into Thump, and he wasn't going anywhere.
3 receivers needing the 15-yard line. Jay Taylor goes in motion. That's been a target of Reno's on 3rd down here today. We'll see if they try to go to him again. This is Cochran throwing, and Ron Cochran's pass is caught. 1st and goal at the 10-yard line. That caught by Ryan Roosevelt. His first grab as Jay Taylor, the decoy, went in motion and pulled the defense away from Roosevelt.
He sent Cameron Shaw, the cornerback, in on a cornerback blitz. But, if you're going to do that against the KG veteran, Ron Cochran, you gotta close that in quick. He's going to see it, and he's going to find who he needs to throw it to.
1st and goal inside the 10-yard line. An impressive answer from the East after a 3-and-out on their first possession of the quarter. Roosevelt goes in motion after just getting his first grab of the day. The handoff up the middle doesn't get much. That's Hollywood on the carry, but J.L. Browning out of Fort Worth on the stop.
Yeah, I think it's the first time we called his name tonight. He read it at the snap and closed that gap shut.
Jay Ballmer and Johnny Reno doing an excellent job on our playbooks today, getting us a very competitive game. Everybody's getting some action. 2nd and goal here at the 9-yard line. Handoff. Logan Lee bounces off a tackle. Logan Lee wrapped up by Dan Tritz. The hustle from the big man out of Mexico City, now a 5-time All-Star, saves the touchdown.
Logan Lee hit Max Jackson, and normally on that first contact, it's game over. But he was able to bounce off and get some extra yards. I mean, oh my God, that is just eye-opening for me.
3rd and goal at the 5. Cochran throws, pass, caught, touchdown on a dive in the end zone. Caught by, who is that? Bacigalupi, you're right. On the he was the kick returner on the roster, but he's a wide receiver in our hearts. Look at the play. Bacigalupi with the touchdown.
And it was at his ankles, and he was able to have that presence to catch that ball, bring it in when he's surrounded by defenders. I mean, that right there is impressive.
Bacigalupi in his first All-Star game makes the play, and this is the crazy thing, Charles. Bacigalupi makes it as a kick returner. He scores a receiving touchdown. Kenny Hendricks makes it as a kick returner, and he gets a defensive touchdown.
Everybody's contributing tonight, Cam.
It's bonkers. What a play.
Absolutely bonkers.
20-17. East right back in this as Greg Corky will get this return. Corky breaks 2 tackles. Greg Corky past the 40 and is wrapped up at the end of it. Oh my goodness gracious. Wrapped up at the end, saving a touchdown as more Arizona fans are excited. But wow, that was almost another score.
Put me in, coach. And I tell you what, great decision to get that man out on the field. What a return. Great positioning on the field for the offense to come out there and build on the small lead they have.
Corky spurring Houston and going to Albuquerque in this offseason along with Marion. Albuquerque is the only team to get 2 All-Stars in free agency this season. 1st and 10 on the 46 now. Dunhill will hand it off to O'Shaughnessy, picking up 2 on the play, tackled by Adam Wiseman, playing in his first All-Star game, his 9th season.
Yeah, it may just be me. I'm not seeing any numbers, but it looks like the defense of the East is starting to get a little bit better control on the running game of the West.
Down to 25 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Dunhill's pass is incomplete. I believe Dunhill was looking for Hacker in a crowd. 3rd down.
Yeah, that was a crowd. That was a dangerous pass. Very dangerous, Cam.
Can this young but talented offensive line hold up on 3rd and 8? Trips right for Michael Brown. Brown steps up in the pocket. Pass caught by Vincalia. 1st down to the East 41. His first catch of the day moves the chains for the West.
And Cam, you challenged the offensive line, and they responded. That was a great pocket for Michael Brown. A great route run by Kalia as well with a one-handed catch to move the chains.
And that will be the end of the 3rd quarter. The All-Star game delivering so far here this afternoon in League City, Texas. East 17, West 20. We'll be right back after this.
The Simulation Football League is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or account of the game without the express written consent of the league office is prohibited.
Start of the 4th quarter here in balmy Texas as Jay Ballmer and Johnny Reno are going at it in the coaching ranks here today, and the SFL's elite going at it on the football field. 20-17, West on top of the East. If your teammates aren't here, tag them and get them in here, as we've got a great 4th quarter getting set up. Bailey O'Shaughnessy's got 9 more.
Holy smokes. I mean, Kim, this is against an all-star defense, and he is running. I think he's the best running back so far tonight.
He might be one of the best running backs in all-star history. I mean, it's tough to run the ball in the all-star game. 88 yards on 19 carries for Bailey. 2nd and 1. Toss. Josh Slapp has a 1st down. Slapp is wrapped up by Blotner, but not until the East 26, and it seems like every time the East responds, the West has an answer of their own.
They are knocking at the door for points here, and I think that was the first toss we've seen tonight, Cam, out of the West.
Josh Slapp making the most of it in his first All-Star game in just his second season. Dunhill hands it off to O'Shaughnessy, the man of the hour, but he only gets one this time. Dominguez and Brackett in on the coverage.
I mean, they're in the driver's seat here, Cam, and folks that watch our games, I'm always a fan of, not making big mistakes here in this part of the, don't try and roll the dice. Let's get some yardage.
Brown, back to throw, fires, caught. First down to the 13-yard line. Gabriel Manning, with I believe his second grab, gets another West first down.
That was a great route by Manning. I mean, I think it looked like they were doing a zone there in the middle, and just the missed coverage there, wide open. You do not leave that man wide open like that because he'll make you pay.
Chemistry between the two after Tulsa had a very successful season, made the playoffs. Were arguably the most exciting team to watch in season 22. First down and 10, 8:16 to play as Hacker goes in motion, followed by King Rashid as O'Shaughnessy gets dipped by Wiseman after a pickup of 2.
How did he get 2 out of that? He got locked in at the line and was able to just, twist his body, do whatever, and get 2 out of it. Just amazing.
He's making even the mundane look terrific. Brown on the rollout. Michael Brown end zone, incomplete and almost picked by King Rashid. Will set up a 3rd and 8. The West, no turnovers today. That was almost their first.
Yeah, definitely. Dangerous pass. Again, I would be conservative here. They're going to probably go in the end zone, but I would just try and get a better field goal at least for a chance.
Brown incomplete, and that hit was a bang play, no flag. But Hacker, it looked like he may have gotten hit a little early, but they're going to end up having to get a field goal. The East gets another stop, and they could take the lead with a touchdown on the next possession.
Yeah, that was questionable. I mean, we might have missed a call there, Cam, on penalties.
To win, Low-Key is having himself a great all-star game as well. 3 for 3, 11 play, 42-yard, 3-minute, 20-second drive, and the West answers. And I think, Charles, we've only had one possession in the second half not result in points. That was the first one.
Oh, amazing. Let's see what the East is gonna do here on offense. I mean, they've got some beasts at the wide receiver, and also Lauren Pakoko. Haven't tested her medium or deep yet. Let's see if they go to her on this series.
Achagalupi on the kick return up to the 25. Already has a touchdown receiving for the East. So let's set the calendar. Charles, coming up. So here we go. We've got the All-Star game today. Roster lock is in 3 days. As soon as rosters lock and it is a done deal, the league will immediately start going to work on making sure we have anybody that got a pay cut, making sure that we have your money available to you, getting the rosters ready, getting your equipment fixed to make sure that is all secure so that we can get that roster file out to teams. Then a few days after that, teams will be turning in their playbooks for week 1, and then we'll be preparing for the convention and opening weekend just around the corner in 3 weeks' time. That's a 2-yard game for BDG to start the drive for the East.
And there'll also be a brand new, sparkling, smells like a new car rule book.
That's right. And we have a little birdie to thank for that. Logan Lee takes the handoff to the 37-yard line. I wasn't sure if you wanted the credit, so I just called you a birdie instead.
Brett Killian doesn't think I'm involved, so I want to keep that on the down low, if you know what I mean.
Ah, I see. Yes, anytime Brett gets information, he can become abusive with it. I totally understand. Hope I'm not putting you to sleep today, Brett. 6:45 to go in the fourth. 23-17 West, but the East has another first down. That ground game is humming. BDG Hollywood is wrapped up after just a 2-yard pickup. David Ware, another stop.
Again, I'm just questioning where is the tight end routes? I mean, get that tight end involved, either Prococo or James Matthew. I mean, it was successful there in the first half. Let's pull out that card and put it on the table.
We're up to 6 tackles. Logan Lee has a first down, and she wasn't in the pass pattern, Charles, but Lauren Prococo with a critical block on the outside.
She's awesome at run blocking. I mean, all tight ends are they're very solid at run blocking, but she is one of the best, if not the best, in the league.
6 minutes left. East taking their time, playing their game. Almost near midfield. Linebackers on the outside showing like they may bring a little bit of pressure. They do. BDG can't run past Stefan Forge. What a play call, no gain.
Yeah, Stefan Forge. I mean, that's what you ask your linebacker to do. Get a good read at the snap and just show the discipline and just shut it down.
5:30 left. This drive's been on the ground, but Johnny Reno going to throw. Hit! Fumble! The ball's loose and it's recovered! Recovered by Robert Thump. It may have been Dan Tritz with the hit.
Yep,
they may challenge this.
It was Dan Tritz, and it looked like they did a pinch stunt, Cam. And again, caught the offensive line off guard. They only ran that a handful of times today, and every time they ran it, they've disrupted the play, and on that one, would have been huge.
I think that's going to be challenged, and I think that the East has a case.
Yep.
We'll take a retroactive look at the play presented by Retroid.
Wow. Holy smokes. That was dominance on the line, Cam, right there.
This is the toughest call in replay.
He went through 2 blockers, Cam. He went through Kilgannon and he went through Dusty Wilson. And that's not an easy thing to do.
No. And it is overturned, so the arm was going forward. And it did look like the arm was going forward. The football didn't necessarily go forward, but the arm definitely was. So the East survives. They stay in it. It's an incomplete pass. It's not even a sack, so it's 3rd down and 10, so that wonderful play by Tritz wiped away.
Yeah, but the offensive line has their eyes open.
Now a 3rd and 10, down 6. Reno, deep shot, caught Irvin. His 2nd catch to the 37-yard line, first down.
Irvin's been making big plays tonight. Every time he's targeted, if it's not a touchdown, it's a big first down reception.
Good little rub route there from Kay Marion. Crossed up the defense right at the right time. 5:05 and counting. The East bleeding clock. 7 in the box for the West. Back to the ground game. Hollywood. Hollywood got a nice block, a 7-yard gain. Max Van Linga out there pushing people around.
Oh, I mean, they're in the lead, but I think the West needs to, maybe turn it up a bit and try and make a turnover here. They're moving, with the exception of that one play, they're kind of moving at will so far.
2nd and 3. We're thankful for the cloud cover here on a hot day just south of Houston. 4.5 to go. 2nd and 3. Handoff. Logan Lee got a yard out of it. Tough yard. Robert Thump, another tackle. This is the biggest 3rd down of the game.
This is big, Cam. And what are they going to do? Are they going to run it or pass it? I'd run it with those 2 running backs between Hollywood and Lee and Comisac. 3.
And a field goal still isn't the worst thing in the world here, too. I'd run it. Cochran handoff, BDG, Hollywood! They gave it to him. Oh, that's a tough call. Max Jackson with the tackle.
Smokes.
We may see another challenge.
Yes, good call. I thought that was the tackle of the game. Holy smokes.
Max Jackson
had that red at the snap.
The SFL record, 11th All-Star game appearance. He has more All-Star games than this East-West format has.
Wow.
Here it is one more time. Where's the football? I don't think any part of him.
Not even close. Not even close.
Yeah. They got to
I've
overturn
been
that.
wrong. I've been wrong so many times, Cam. Let's see.
And it is overturned. And I think if you're the East, you have to take the points. Get it to a 3-score game.
Yep.
Hope your defense can make a stop.
Max Jackson. Holy smokes. I was still thinking about that tackle.
He hasn't made many plays in this game today, but he just made the biggest one right there for the West defense.
Yes. Yes, sir.
So Potty out there for a 44-yard field goal attempt with 3:53 to go. Both teams have all 3 timeouts. It'll be up to the East defense after Potty's field goal, which is a banger right down the middle. What a kick. 11-play, 47-yard drive for the East, but the West defense gets a stop primarily due to Dan Tritz and Max Jackson. It is 23-20, and now it is up to the West offense to try and put this one away.
Ooh, huge. Who's going to be returning the kick, Hendricks or Corky?
Both of them have been great
I know.
so
You're
far
poisoned.
today. From the 2, it is Hendricks. Past the 20, Hendricks to the
Not bad.
27-yard line, tackled by McGee. Here we go.
Not bad at all, Cam. I mean, Cam, at this point, I would, if I was the offensive coach, I would, do what got you here. Use your running backs. Don't do anything. Get the ball back in the hands of the East. I mean, don't try and push it too deep downfield and watch. They're going to line up in shotgun with 5 wide.
No, I think this is O'Shaughnessy's drive right here to maybe try and win MVP, although the touchdown might hurt his cause. He has been, or the lack of touchdown rather, he has been terrific. .345 to go. O'Shaughnessy gets the tote. Bailey O'Shaughnessy picks up 9.
Wow. There you go. That's what you got to do. You put it on the back of the little big man, Bailey O'Shaughnessy.
Henry missed him, and then Rashid got dragged for a little bit. Panani probably should get the majority of the credit for the tackle, but that's not a good start for the East defense. Still have time, but eventually they got to get off the field. Matson goes in motion. Handoff, Josh Slapp got the first down to the 37.
Holy.
And I think this is it right here, Charles. If they can get a couple of stops here to set up a 3rd down at the 2-minute warning, they're in good shape.
I know there's still a lot of game left, Cam, but that offensive line is just balling out. The West.
Probably the most underrated unit of any unit in this game. 2:43 left. Bleeding clock. Handoff. O'Shaughnessy gets away from 1, but Henry gets the last laugh. But because of the length of play, they will not have to snap it before the 2-minute warning, but it is close.
Let's see what they do, Cam. I mean, just let it go to the 2-minute warning.
O'Shaughnessy up now to 101. Due to when the snaps, there we go. They did run another play. Josh Slapp gets to 3rd and 1, and we get to the 2-minute warning. It's all on the line. The East need a stop. They're down 23-20. This is the season 22 All-Star game.
Cam, at this point, I need to hear Chris Curtis's calm, soothing voice bring me down.
We already had it. You don't get to double dip.
Long ago, though. It just seems so long ago.
Browns in at quarterback, 3rd and 1. 8 in the box for the East. Trying to get off the field. Flip out. O'Shaughnessy is crushed in the backfield. A TFL on O'Shaughnessy for the first time today. Adam Wiseman makes the stop, and the East will get the ball.
They didn't use that toss play a lot, Cam, and you can question, whether or not they could have just ran it straight up the middle. But, man, that defense they were there waiting for it off that edge and just shut it down.
The East finally gets O'Shaughnessy's number. This is a deep kick that will be returned from the 7. That was Twin Screw making a questionable decision, but you also can't let the ball bounce either, Charles, and bleed more time off the clock either.
No, you can't. And that was a big tackle by Cameron Shaw on special teams.
1:47 left. And 2 timeouts for the East. They'll burn the first 2 plays that end up staying in bounds. Actually, they may hold that last timeout for the field goal. BDG Hollywood breaks a tackle. Hollywood picks up 19 yards to start the drive.
Ooh, you know what? I would be dancing, but get back to that huddle quick because time is ticking, my friend.
The East likely going for the tie here. 19 Hollywood a little quiet today, but maybe shouldn't be. 4.2 yards a carry. Not half bad. East trying to get the tying field goal here with 1:23 left. They have 2 timeouts, and they need about 35 yards. Cochran pass caught. Roosevelt down to the 48-yard line.
Shoo! They tried that overload blitz there at the top of the screen, and quarterback just got rid of it so quickly and got the ball. Saw Roosevelt open there and just did a Cochran, the KG veteran, was just able to get rid of it.
There's Ron Cochran's numbers. He's shaken off that interception. We have, in all-star game history, I don't think we've ever had overtime. 50 seconds left, at least not in the East-West format. Ron Cochran going to throw again. Cochran will dump it off, and he did get out of bounds. Chris Komisak with his first catch of the day. Forge on the tackle, but that saves the East a timeout.
I mean, how many quarterbacks can drop back, not see anything deep, and just turn around the opposite side of the field and able to get the ball to the dump?
And they are going to Cochran late in this one. Second and 8 in his 6th All-Star game. They'll hand it off to BDG. BDG gets a few.
Smokes.
And this is a huge 3rd and 5 here. They just tried to make it a more manageable 3rd down.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't hear a lot of Monty Wyatt called tonight, but man, he has got some speed. He was able to shut that down, and that was a huge tackle for the defense.
Cochran to throw, pass, incomplete. It's 4th down.
Wow, the line cam was starting to break down, and the quarterback had to make a snap decision, and that was, I think, the only thing he could do.
Still 2 timeouts for the East. This is it. 4th and 5 right here. And they bring in Reno to try and move the sticks. Dime look for the West. Reno to throw. Reno's pass is incomplete, and the West will hold on.
Oh, my gosh. Defense all night, Cam, has been coming up huge for the West. And right there, did a little bump action on Taylor. You know, you could argue whether or not that was a little tomfoolery, but just enough to disrupt the reception. And I mean, I think the West defense dictated turns all night and just set it up perfectly for their offense to put points on the board.
That was close. Cameron Shaw with a bang-bang play on Jay Taylor. And the West, after losing 6 of the first 7 All-Star games in this series, has now won 2 straight, as the East will exhaust their timeouts, just hoping for some kind of miracle. But they were scratching and clawing all day, Charles. They started down 10-0 before their offense even got on the field. And even though the East got closer and closer and closer, at the end of the day, they just could not dig themselves out of that 10-0 hole.
You definitely, and again, I think it goes into the corner of the West defense. I mean, they had a great plan. They kept the plan, didn't make a lot of changes at halftime because they knew what worked, and it showed on the field.
Dunhill will take the final kneel down. We'll keep it here to go through the stats in post game, and we'll try to figure out who the player of the game is for the West. But what an incredible game. All-Star game here to put a bow on season 22. West 23, East 20. That was a thrilling finish as the East come up just short. And And let's take a look at our stats. First, on the team stats side of things, 340 to 265 in total yards of offense in the red zone. The East put in a couple of touchdowns, but did have to settle for a field goal. Your play count, just 54 plays on the East side of things. The West, 61, but it was a fast-moving football game. Not a lot of incompletions in this one, but there's your big stat, 2 turnovers, and actually it's 14 points off of turnovers as the fumble was recovered for the touchdown. Here's your quarterback numbers. Reno finished with the best QBR, was 4 for 9. Best completion percentage goes to Dunhill, 5 of 8. But a lot of balance there. Both Reno and Cochran threw a touchdown. On the ground, O'Shaughnessy, because of the 2-yard loss on his last carry, he actually goes back down to 99. He did have 101 at one point. Hollywood right behind him at 24-81, had a great day. Paulie True, 3 for 36. Manning, 3 for 30, your receiving leaders. But Irvin had the 77 yards. That led all receivers and the touchdown. On defense, Chris Henry led all players with 8 solo tackles. Blotner, Roberto, and Ware were right behind him. Alex Dominguez had the game's only sack. Just 3 pass deflections in this one. Ware with the pick and the 16-yard return. Roberto with 3 tackles for loss on the west side. And the 1 fumble recovery by Kenny Hendricks returned for the touchdown. All the kickers made their field goals. We had 7 punts. We had some pretty good kick returners as well. So with all that said, Charles, who gets your player of the game in this one?
Player of the game, I'm going to give O'Shaughnessy. But I'm going to give a ball out to the entire defense of the West. I mean, they were incredible. And also the offensive line of the West. O'Shaughnessy wouldn't even be scratching near 100 if they didn't play as well as they did. And they kept both quarterbacks, Brown and Dunhill, upright and just did some menacing tackles, setting up those runs not only up in the middle, Cam, but also on the edge against all-stars. I mean, that is just incredible.
I agree with everything. I got no beef. O'Shaughnessy was great. The offensive line was great. And at the end of the day, those Tulsa defenders showed why so many of them made the All-Star game. Cameron Shaw with the game-winning play. Tony Roberto was great. David Ware was great. Many others as well. Manning had 3 catches. For Charles Doherty, I'm Cameron Irvine. Season 22 is over. Season 23 right around the corner in just 19 days. We'll see you on the other side. Get your contracts finalized for roster lock, and we'll be working hard to get that back out to you as week 1 is just moments away. Have a great night, everybody, and a great rest of your weekend.